Hey guys, it's Medical back with another GTA 5 tutorial, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to use the audio side of things in the Rockstar Editor. But before I get into that, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, or if this video does help in any way. And also, if you guys have any troubles with anything, let me know in the comment section below and I'll try and help out. And with that, I'll see you guys. Let's get straight into this video. So as soon as you get into Rockstar Editor, you can see some timelines down the bottom. So you've got the visual or video timeline, or video track, which is the thick bar, and then the thin bars are like text and visual, like graphics or audios and sound sort of tracks as well. Now to add these, you have to press circle and you'll get to this part here. So there's 3 audio tracks, and the first one is the ambient track. So what ambience is basically environmental noises. So anything from winds to rain, and even crowds, people talking, all that sort of stuff, sirens in the distance. A lot of it is just self-explanatory, but you can just go through and choose any sort of one you want. So I'm going to go with thunderstorm, and you just place it here. Now you can also press square to pick it up and move it around and place it wherever you want. And then also, if you hold the L1 or R1, you can move it with the analog stick like this, or you can snap trim, which is snapping it to the nearest anchor point in the video, or the ends, which I showed you that in a previous video. So there's that. Now you can also duplicate these tracks if they're not long enough, but I'm pretty sure with tracks like this, these go on forever. But if your audio seems to be going longer than, I believe that's like 1 hour, something like that. If it goes longer than that, which it shouldn't, then you can duplicate it. You can also press triangle to delete. Now if we go to the next track, which is a radio track, now this is all the songs and all the different radio stations. There are a few missing, I believe, due to copyright issues and stuff like that, so there are a few that aren't there, but the majority of the songs in the GTA radio stations are there. But I'm not going to place one in just because I don't want copyright issues with my video. So next one is a score track. So this is also music, but this is different because with the radio track here, this is just normal straight music. But with the score track, there's an option that you can change it in the video, which I'll show you soon. But this music here is designed for building up intensity and stuff like that in the video, and all that sort of stuff. So these songs you'll hear in missions and heists and stuff. So these are the songs and instrumentals that you'll see. So if we go ahead and place that one down as well. Now what we'll do is we'll go into our video. Now there are a few audio settings that you can change and play around with in the actual video editing part of the Rockstar Editor, and it's quite easy to use as well, especially when it's all in one tab or one area. It's not spread out, whereas a lot of the camera editing stuff, you have to move different categories and stuff like that. So all you do is go down to audio, and then everything is right here. The only thing that's not there that you may need is the anchor point. So if we go here, you can turn on the anchor point, but you don't really need that for audio. So for audio, if we go into the audio category, we've got we'll start off the sound effects. So these two are sort of one sort of section. So we've got the effects category, which means you've got different effects that you can add in, like crashes, explosions, all that sort of stuff you can add in. And what will happen is you will hear this as soon as the player bar or play playing point. I can't think of the name right now, but but as soon as that little line, when it's playing, as soon as that little line hits the keyframe, you'll hear that audio effect, sound effect. So here's the sound effect volume here. So the maximum is 8. You can't go higher than 8. So you can turn that down or whatever. Then you've got your game sound effects, which is everything that you've heard while you or any sound effects that you've heard while you've been recording. So that's anything from the car engine to people crashing and stuff like that. Now you will still hear people in the background talking because that's the dialogue volume. That's not your in-game microphone chat. That's the actual characters talking. So like Michael and Franklin and stuff like that. Next thing we've got is the music, which is that the radio tracks. Then we've got ambience, which is the atmosphere. Now we've got score intensity. So I believe what this does is it makes it not only louder, but it's more, I think it might make it more upbeat sort of, whereas if you put it down minimal, then it's kind of like gentle, subtle. So I believe that's what that does. I have never ever used it, so don't quote me on that. And then the microphone type, I have never used this, but I believe what this does is it will hear everything depending on this this microphone type. So the default one is basically everything around the camera. But yeah, next thing is at camera. So the microphone is where the camera is. So you'll hear everything where the camera is. So if the camera was right next to that guy that's walking to the right, then you'll hear him walking more than you'll probably hear the car engine. Or the car will sound like it's in the distance. Then you've got at target. So if the camera was over by that guy, you wouldn't hear him no more. You would hear him you would hear the car because it's at the target, which is the player, or a specific set target. So like any other characters. And then cinematic. I'm not too sure what this does. I'm not too sure yet, but you just play around with these settings and you'll get the hang of it. Now I don't play around with any of the audio. The reason being is because I actually literally all I do to make my montages and cinematics, I just change the camera angles and all that sort of stuff. Then I upload it to YouTube privately, download it. Then what I do is I edit everything on my computer, just because I've got much more easier access to do different effects and stuff like that, and it's much more easier to edit like that. So I don't worry about any of that, and I just cut the audio completely out from there. But if you do want to worry about audio and stuff here, this is what you need to do. Now I'll show you a quick little thing that you can do. So if we go ahead and put this at 5, put this on, put that at 5, put that at 2, we'll put that at 6, and we'll leave it like that. So see, we've changed the settings, we've got like that. Now if we move our player head, I believe that's what they call it, and we place another keyframe, if we now go into the audio, you'll see those exact same settings. The reason is because those settings were applied, and the keyframe that we just placed was after the keyframe that we applied those settings to. So if we change them now, then if we place another keyframe here, then they would be the same as this keyframe that we changed the settings on, if that made any sense. And then also another thing is, if you do have, say we put heaps of keyframes in, and say we've got, this one is, we'll go the second one here, we want to make it, we'll put like creaky door open one. Okay, so we've got that. So now as you see here, if we go into this one, it's different. So if we move along, you'll see it's different, and then it goes back to the original one. So if you want to do a quick thing, if you've changed all these settings and you want to make, say, this one over here the exact same settings, what you can do is you can actually go and press L3, and that copies it, and then you can literally go along and then press X and it pastes it. That also applies to a lot of the things, so like effects as well. So normally what I do is, the quickest way to apply effects, I'll go over to Inferno, and I'll take it down to 50%, and then what I do is I copy it and I'll just paste it in all the keyframes. That's how that all works. So yeah, that's really everything you need to know about the audio. A quick tip, if you guys do edit montages that go to music, one thing that I do, one rule that I play by is you hear, or your reaction to music is quicker than the visual, I believe, or I can't remember right now. It might be the other way around. So yeah, I think it's you hear it before you see it. So basically, that's like, think of like thunder and lightning. You kind of hear it before you see it. So basically, what you do is say if you are on a timeline and you want to cut the from this shot to another shot, you would cut the shot before you would hear the drum hit or something like that, or like you would just like milliseconds. It's a small frame, or small, like maybe 1 or 2 frames. The reason being is you will hear it at the same time as you processed it. So it's hard to explain right now, but trust me, what I do for my videos to keep it in time, I cut slightly before the actual drop or beat or something that you are changing the shot with. So that's a quick little tip there. Now that comes to the end of my video, guys. If there's anything that I missed out, or if there's anything that you are struggling with, let me know in the comment section below. I will check it out, and I'll try my best to help you guys out. Now that's the end of my Rockstar Editor tutorials. I will, if I decide to, I might do a summary of the Rockstar Editor next week, or I might go into doing different types of tutorials, like maybe car builds or something like that. But yeah, for now, that's the end of the major side of things with the Rockstar Editor. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the series. Please go check out all my other Rockstar Editor tutorials, and with that, I'll see you guys. I'll see you in my next video.